Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and today I'm going to show you my autographed football cards. A lot of you guys don't know that I do collect football autographs, and the ones that I collect are very similar to the Perez Steele. They're instead of them being drawn by Dick Perez, they're drawn by Gary Thomas. And like Gary Thomas, this is one of the cards here. Like Perez Steele, Gary Thomas was the artist for the Hall of Fame for many, many years. And these cards were released in over a period of about 18 years. I think they started, I don't remember, late 80s, and they finished in 2016. And what they did was they released in different series. And this is the Jim Thorpe. So you can see they were all, you would get them through the Hall of Fame and they would release them at that time. And this is, okay, series one is this one, and that was in 1989. And they went through 2016. This is card number 27, Jim Thorpe. Now they produced 5,000 of each of the cards, and they're all serial numbered. And these, just like the Perez Steele, they were made really for autographs. So that's what I've done, and that's the collection that I have, and that's what I want to show you now, is my collection of autographed Gary Thomas Hall of Fame art series cards. So let me go ahead and start, because I got a lot here. I've got a total of over 220 Hall of Fame autograph football players. And I'm going to start. I have some in these books here, which I'm going to go ahead and show you. Got two full books of these autograph cards. But I'm going to start with the ones that I have that just didn't fit in the book, and some of the big stars that I kind of took out and put them in separate holders. So let me start off first with Walter Payton. Let me get these books out of here. I'm gonna line these up so you get a good look at these cards. This is the Walter Payton, and you can see they're hand signed, only 5,000 of each. I'm not gonna show you the back of all of them, and they're all either in person or they're all authenticated by PSA or others. So that's the Walter Payton. That's the latest one that I picked up, Walter Payton autographed. Next is the Jim Brown. It's a beautiful Jim Brown autograph there. These are beautiful artwork, and you got to get them hand autographed, hand signed. This is Gale Sayers. So I'm just going to go through, start showing, because there's so many I have here. Some of the coaches, here's Tom Landry. These are beautiful autographs. Again, they're all numbered. This one was released in 1993. So every year they would release the players that went into the Hall of Fame. And, it would look something like this. Here's the 2000, those are people that were in the Hall of Fame. And they would give that set of cards, and you would get them and, try to get them autographed. Here's Otto Graham. This was for the original class of '89. Here's Bill Parcells, Pete Rozelle, Michael Irvin. Beautiful artwork. Look at that, details on that. You can see in the background everything, his eyes looking at the ball. And they try to put these players in a position that they are used to. There's Jerry Rice. Don Shula. Roger Staubach. Sid Luckman. I'm going to go rather quickly here because I don't want to make this a real long video. Brett Favre. Steve Young. It's just, I just love the artwork on these, just like Perez Steele. They're full color artwork. Terry Bradshaw. Jim Kelly. No, I'm sorry. John Elway. John Elway. My favorite, Dan Marino. Joe Montana. Joe Namath. Bart Starr. Another incredible quarterback, Johnny Unitas. Beautiful autograph of Johnny Unitas there. And you know, they're nice pictures, and here's with his boots. He used to wear those boots. Moving on, John Madden. That's a tough one to get, and that's a beautiful autograph in silver. John Madden. O.J. Simpson. Here's the Jim Kelly with the snow. It's Jim Kelly. Let's move on to some of the books. Let's move on with the books. So let's see how I'm going to do this here. Get this good view of one of these. Herb Adderley. Troy Aikman. It's going to be tough with the book. I'm just going to have to put the book on top here. Okay, here we go. Doug Atkins, Red Bagro. Sammy Baugh, Lombardi. Yeah, this ain't working too good here, guys. I'm gonna have to change my strategy here. So, what I'm gonna do with this is take them out. Show you one sheet at a time. That works better. Chuck Bednarik. Leroy Kelly. No, that's not Leroy Kelly. That's Bobby Bell. Bobby Bell. Raymond Berry. And that is Elvin Bethea. We gather these guys up so we can get a better look and get the background in there good. So we can get you guys a better view here. Here we go. We got George Blanda and Fred Biletnikoff. It's better like this. Mel Blount, and that's Bob Brown. That's Rosie Greer, and that's Roosevelt Brown, and that's Pa Brown. That's Willie Brown. And that's Buck Buchanan. Still in the Bees, Nick Bonacani. And Butkus. Dick Butkus. Two of the greatest linebackers right there. Look at that. Beautiful artwork on these. Two running backs, Earl Campbell and Tony Canadeo. Oh, Hall of Fame. All these are all only Hall of Famers here. Harry Carson and Dave Casper. Great tight end, linebacker there. This is George Connor and Lou Creekmere, I think it is. Creekmere. Old timers. Here comes one of the big running backs, Larry Zonka and Willie Davis. Oops, sorry about that. Just getting another batch here of these. Kind of get myself in order. Sorry about that, guys. Straighten out my camera. All I got is, of course, an iPhone. I don't even edit, but got some nice things I'm showing you there. That's Lenny Dawson, and that's Fred Dean. Joe DeLamalure and Mike Ditka. One of the greatest running backs, Eric Dickerson. People forget how good Eric Dickerson was. And Dan Deerdorf. An announcer, but he was a great player, Hall of Famer. Two more, got another great running back, Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett. And Bullet Bill Dudley. Here's Art Donovan and Richard Dent. So you can see a lot of them have the PSA authentication in there, or I have something showing that they're authentic. Carl Eller and Weeb Eubank, old-time Jets coach there. There's Tom Fears and Ray Flaherty. Dan Fouts, another top guy, Dan Fouts. And this is Frank Gatsby. Frank Gatsky and Dan Fouts. Joe Gibbs. Got a big autograph, Joe Gibbs. And Frank Gifford. Yeah, Frank Gifford. Moving on to two coaches, Sid Gilman and Bud Grant. Sid Gilman and Bud Grant. Let's grab another bunch of these here. And we got Darryl Green and Mean Joe Green. So that's Darryl Green. And that's Mean Joe Green. Got two greens. And I go to the G's here. And you got Red Grange and Bob Greasy. You got Cortez Kennedy here. You got Cortez Kennedy and Forrest Gregg. Next we got Russ Grimm and Lou Grossa. Russ Grimm, Lou Grossa. You know, and in the back, some of these have special, like this This one's called the Enshrinee Proof. There's only 50 of these, and these were actually given out the day of the, they were given to Russ Grimm in this case, the day of the inauguration to the Hall of Fame. And there's only 50 of those, and they would sign those. So those are not numbered like these. And there's another one, they limited to 100, I think also. And I have some of those somewhere, I'll have to look around. Anyway, this is Jack Ham. And this is John Hannah. Don Hampton and the great Franco Harris. Great Steeler. Don Hampton and Franco Harris. You got Mike Haynes and Ted Hendricks. Mike Haynes was actually deaf, he couldn't hear, but he was a great cornerback, and Ted Hendricks, the Matt Stork. And then next we got Crazy Legs Hirsch, Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, and Paul Hornung, one of the great players back in Green Bay, Paul Hornung. Moving on to Kenny Houston and Sam Huff. Just gotta speed it up, I got so many of these. This is Lamar Hunt and Don Hudson. I have another stack here. Okay. Next, we got Walter Jones and Jimmy Johnson. Walter Jones and Jimmy Johnson, not the coach Jimmy Johnson, the player Jimmy Johnson. Next comes John Henry Johnson and Charlie Joyner. Look at that artwork for Charlie Joyner. John Henry Johnson was running back, and then Charlie Joyner, wide receiver. A couple more Hall of Famers. You got Deacon Jones and Stan Jones. Deacon Jones there and Stan Jones. A couple more Hall of Famers. This is a Hall of Fame quarterback. And it's Sonny Jurgensen and Ricky Jackson. I got the certificate here. Usually I put the certificate somewhere else, but we'll leave it there for now. Next we got Leroy Kelly and Paul Krause. Leroy Kelly, another incredible running back. And there's Paul Krause also, great player. You got Jim Langer, Dolphin Great, and Chris Hanburger. All these are Hall of Famers. And here comes a great defensive back, a couple of them here. And we'll start first with Dick Night Train Lane. Dick Night Train Lane. And this is Jack Lambert. Great Steeler great. Jack Lambert and Dick Night Train Lane. We got Willie Lanier there of the Chiefs, and Marv Levy, Coach Marv Levy. Next we got Steve Largent and Yale Larry. Great looking Steve Largent there, and the kicker, Yale Larry. All right, this guy's got a great name. Dante Gluefingers Lavelli. Gluefingers Lavelli. Dante Lavelli. and Dick LeBeau. Two good receivers, great receivers. Dante LaValle Blue Fingers. And the next two are Floyd Little and Larry Little. Okay, that's one book. Another book to go. So let's hit the second book here. Like I said, I have over 220 of these autographs. The complete set, I think there's 303, but of course you can never get a lot of the original ones like the Jim Thorpe I showed you. So I think the total is somewhere around the 245, 246 is the total that can be gotten, that they were alive when these things were printed. So out of 300, I can possibly get 245, or I think it is, or 246. So I got 220 something. I'm missing about 20 to complete the entire run. And what I like about these is that, you know, it starts and it ends, so there is an end to it. You know. So this is James Lofton and Howie Long, because this series only went on for a few years. Well, not a few years, almost 20 years. Bob Lilly and Ronnie Lott. Of course, now you can get all the Hall of Famers and pull their autographs out of packs. And this is Tom Mack and John Mackey. But when these first came out in '89, you know, there were no out of packs. So these were made for you to go and get them autographed. This is Wellington Mara and Gino Marchetti. So you'd have to go and get them hand autographed. And that's what these were made for, just like the Perez Steele. This is Jonathan Ogden and Ollie Matson. Jonathan Ogden and Ollie Matson. Don Maynard and Bruce Matthews. Look at that, Don Maynard making that catch. You got George McAfee. I like how he signed that on that. And Mike McCormick. So I got 220. I'm missing about 20 something more of them. I've got most of the big name stars. This is Randall McDaniel and Tommy McDonald. I am missing some that have just gotten very expensive because they become famous. Like a Michael Strahan autograph is like, I don't know, he wants $300 or something for that. And Hugh McElhaney, and this is Bobby Mitchell. Bobby Mitchell. I'm missing Deion Sanders and a few other guys like that. Because some of the new guys, they want a lot of money for autographs when they go personal appearances. Ron Mix, and this is Art Monk. In the old days, you can get them autographed a lot cheaper, and a lot of these old guys didn't charge too much. This is Warren Moon and Lenny Moore. Marion Motley, and a great running back for the Jets, Curtis Martin. And these autographs, and this is Anthony Munoz and George Musso. And these these were basically, made for autographs, and they were actually given to the, copies were given to the athletes so they can give them out. And that's Mike Munchak and Orlando Pace. See, here's one here. This is the this is again an Enshriner's proof, 25 of 50. Those were given out only at the Hall of Fame event. Here's a couple of big names here. And this is Ozzie Newsome, and this is Ray Nitschke. Yeah, Ray Nitschke, Hall of Fame, 1978. And this coming up is Chuck Noll and Leo Nomelani. Can never pronounce that. Merlin Olsen and Jim Otto, double O. Yeah, he signed the double O. Jim Otto and Merlin Olsen. Alan Page and Ace Parker. Clarence Ace Parker. And that's Alan Page. Big time Vikings player. Jim Parker and Joe Perry. Joe Perry autograph there. And this is Pete Pijos and John Randall. Mel Renfro, I'm backing up to guard to somebody who's a cornerback, and John Riggins. Boy, John Riggins killed up my Dolphins. He's a big, strong guy, John Riggins. Here's Jim Ringo and Andy Robustelli. Dan Rooney, and one of the best running backs ever, Barry Sanders. Look at the Barry Sanders. Dan Rooney. And we got Charlie Sanders and Tex Schramm, owner Tex Schramm. Okay, let's grab another file here. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I have never shown my entire goal line art set before, so this is the first real showing. I showed them initially, but I didn't really show the entire set. This is Ed Sable, and that's the bus, Jerome Bettis. I think when I showed it was in the beginning of when I started my YouTube channel early last year, and I think they got probably less than 100 views when I showed some of these. Here's Joe Schmidt and Leroy Selman. So it doesn't really matter how many views I get. I want to see these, and then I can come back and look at them again when I want. Because, you know, I put these things away in the box, and they're sometimes tough to pull all this out. Here's Billy Shaw and Art Shell. That's Mick Tinglehoff and Hank Stram. I like when they signed it in the silver there. Problem with the silver, it does chip off sometimes, but that's a beautiful autograph there. And we've got Jackie Slater and Bill Polin, the owner, Jackie Slater. We're in the S's now, so we've got Mike Singletary and Bruce Smith. Mike Singletary and Bruce Smith. A lot of S's here. We got Jackie Smith, and John Starworth. Underrated John Starworth. You know, you think of the Steelers and you think of Lynn Swann, but John Starworth, very underrated. And Jackie Smith also. All these were just, they're all Hall of Famers. So moving on to Bob St. Clair and Ernie Stoutner. Bob St. Clair and Ernie Stoutner. The Hall of Fame kicker, John Stenerud and Dwight Stevenson, part of the undefeated Dolphins. Incredible blocker there for Marino. John Stenerud and Dwight Stevenson. And here we go with probably one of the best wide receivers ever, Lynn Swann. Look at that, with Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Oops, let's pull out that John Stallworth. Look at that. Look at those guys. That was an incredible group there. And I got the Bradshaw there too. That was anyway, that's Jim Taylor. Gotta find a way to really do a nice display with these. This is Charlie Taylor and Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor in the snow. His fingers taped. Charlie Taylor. We got great quarterback Fran Tarkenton, so underrated, and Emmett Thomas. Tarkenton signed on his leg there. And Emmett Thomas. And speaking about the Thomas, Thurman Thomas. Boy, he hurt us bad too. Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly. What a team they had. 4 times they went to the Super Bowl. And that's Andre Tippett. Thurman Thomas and Andre Tippett. Talk about old time. Y.A. Tittle. Look at that, Y.A. Tittle. And Charlie Trippy. Charlie Trippy. Boy, they played in dirt back in those days. Charlie Trippy. Yeah, these are the old guys. That's Clyde. Bulldog Turner. Bulldog Turner. Well, this guy was mean. Bulldog Turner. And that is Gene Upshaw. Clyde Bulldog. And next is Willie Rofe and Steve Van Buren. Steve Van Buren. Willie Rofe. Oh man, we're into 30 minutes, but I'm gonna finish. We don't have too much more to go. Just hang in there, guys. Some good stuff still coming up. Like Bill Walsh and Doak Walker. Yeah, Doak Walker. Old time autographs. And my favorite receiver, Paul Warfield. Paul Warfield decided to retire as a Brown, so that's why they drew him as a Brown, but I remember him as a Dolphin. And Mike Webster, Pittsburgh Steelers great. You got an old-time guy, Arnie Waymaster, and Roger Worley. Arnie Waymaster and Roger Worley. And next we got Randy White and Ralph Wilson Jr. That's Ralph Wilson Jr. He's a founder and an owner of the Buffalo Bills. Next we got Dave Wilcox and Bill Willis. You got Larry Wilson and Kellen Winslow. Yeah, catch there from Kellen Winslow. Some more big Packer greats. Willie Wood. And a Steeler great, Rod Woodson. Willie Wood and Rod Woodson. You know, the newer guys, they don't sign as nice. Next we got Ron Yeri and Dave Robinson. So we're down to the end, guys. We're down to the Y's here. We got Rayfield Wright and Jack Youngblood. He signed God Bless. Jack Youngblood, Hall of Fame, 01. And Rayfield Wright. Next, we've got Gary Zimmerman, probably should be the last one because I got this next guy out of order. And that's Chris Carter. It's Chris Carter. What do we got next? We got Ray Guy and Ed DiBartola. Ray Guy, the punter. Nice background, so let me take a picture. And you got Edward DiBartolo Jr. What do we got here? We got Chris Dolman. And we got Ron Wolf. And we're the end. Can you believe there's 220 autographs? So that last one is Andre Reed and Aeneas Williams. So guys, that is 220 something. Maybe I gotta check again. 220 something autographed goal line art cards for you to see. So I hope you appreciate it, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. Thanks for looking at my collection of goal line art autographed football cards, Hall of Famers. And I appreciate it very, very much. Your comments are always welcome. Please like and subscribe. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Thank you so, so much for watching my videos. I truly, truly appreciate it. Have an awesome day, guys. Thanks for watching.